What's up, everybody? It's HTG Brian, and we're back with some free roam for LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. That's right, we're going to kick off the free roam series with Egypt. What? Why Egypt? I'll get to that in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and find all of those collectibles scattered throughout. In fact, this is actually pretty easy. Now that I'm here at free roam, I just want to point out, first of all, we're spawning in Egypt right in front of the map area terminal. So this is gonna, once we activate that, it's gonna show us where all of the collectibles are in the area, and then we can actually target them on our map and use GPS to find our way there. So let's take a quick peek real quick at what we've got going on here. So we're over in Egypt, and turns out there is this one race that will not unlock until we complete a mission in Manhattan. So that's kind of a bummer, because we were trying to do everything in a specific order and try to get you to watch just one video where all the collectibles were in for each area. But as it turns out, we're going to have to at least get one Egypt collectible in a Manhattan video, but it is possible that some of those are going to overlap, and we're going to have a couple of missions floating around. So on top of that, we're also going to get some of these challenges that are kind of accumulative, like the cartographer. That's going to be for activating all of the map points like I just showed you. Animal lover is going to be for writing all the various animals scattered throughout, which we're going to have to do some missions for people. You probably should have a couple already, just like we got a couple of those bosses for completing some of the story. So basically the rest of the challenges are pretty much accumulative. Like the People's Hero, every area you go to, there's going to be that little exclamation mark with the red circle around it. You can fight off a couple of bad guys and save a citizen in peril, and that'll actually give you one more credit. We actually got 8 of them just for trying to find the posters in the Old West when we were doing that challenge for wanted anonymity. Boy, I can't say that. But all right, let's go ahead and get things off. We got a couple other challenges like the Rapper Roundup and all that we're going to do as well. But check this out. Bloop, 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 bloop. So once you press that icon at that computer terminal, it pukes out all of those collectibles. And now they're all over the map and scattered around. Now you can see we've got a locked race here, and we got a locked race over here. This is the one that is not going to unlock until we complete a mission in Manhattan. It's like Ursa Major or something, I think is what it's called. But we're going to go ahead and kick things off. We're going to target the gold brick monument and turn around and head right over to it. Now, there's no specific order in how you do things, and we wanted to give you a quick overview of where we were with our gold bricks, Stan Lee's, and look at that. We've got 0 of 14 of the gold brick monument. So we're going to go ahead and do one of those right now and simply walk over to this bad boy and hit the icon indicator. For us, it was circle. It's going to ask if we want to unlock it. Why, yes, we do. We had to press X to indicate that we, in fact, wanted to do it, and look at that. We go ahead and build it up. Now, basically, there is a 10 gold brick requirement. At this point, we have 88. By the time we finish this level, we have even more than that. So, as we go around through the different areas, I don't think we're ever going to run into a requirement that we can't fulfill, but we never know. We might. Next up, we got a puzzle. Now, on the map, it shows the puzzle as kind of a puzzle piece, but yet once you click on it to activate it, it shows that you're going to be rewarded with a gold brick. So that's kind of handy. I was just talking about getting some of those. Now, Egypt's kind of fancy. There's lots of kind of hidden objectives, like the puzzles or whatever, that are inside these buildings. Like this one was kind of tricky. It was inside here, and this is the first of, I believe, 7 puzzles that we have here, if I remember correctly. And we're going to start things off by using somebody with telekinesis that can go ahead and shake things up a little bit. That's right, we're going to dump out all these piles of I don't know what. In fact, I don't think the game knows what either, as there are question marks kind of wondering too. Now, I got a funny angle over here. I couldn't quite activate that, but there we go. I got it, and I pour it all out. Now, truth be told, you do need a character with the digging ability, and we found out that Crystal, when we were kind of doing our preliminary run, Crystal can not only manipulate those big old jars in the back with telekinesis, she can also do digging with it too. I thought that was pretty cool, so you might check that out. We used Black Panther and Doctor Strange for our deeds here, and it turns out we got to go right back. So Crystal would have been able to do both, and we had to switch back and forth. Oh, he shoots, he scores! Look at that. Slam dunked it off. Actually, it was more of a shooter's bounce there. It kind of rolled in for us. Next up, we're going to go right behind us, and there is a silver brick that needs to be destroyed. So Iron Man's going to get her done for us. And look at that. Once we build up those remaining bricks that were left, we actually have ourselves a puzzle. Now, this one was pretty simple. We are trying to get the heart that's up on top there, and there are a series of pieces that need to be flipped around. And what we're trying to do here is make that look like a heart. So, as it turns out, we needed to flip the red one twice, the green one once on the right, and the green one once on the left, which I think is more of a silver, but it does kind of look like an olive green to me. But look at that, he swish bomb. We drop that right in, nothing but net. And last but not least, we need a little bit of a charge. So we'll go ahead and switch on over to Thor. And you got it. We're going to go ahead and pump it up. And look at that. We're going to go ahead and by the powers of Grace. Oh, wait, not Grayskull. It's, there we go, Asgardian. Oh, okay, we'll go ahead and charge it up. Whoop, 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 whoop. And look at that. It's going to go ahead and reveal. You know, this is kind of funny, too. I just watched the new Mummy last night with Tom Cruise, which I don't know how I feel about it. We'll talk about that later, I guess. But I was noticing certain hieroglyphics on some of the stuff in the movie are actually shown in a puzzle coming up on this, which I thought was kind of interesting. So clearly TT Games used some real hieroglyphics that were realistically based off of Egypt. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I guess most hieroglyphics are from Egypt. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so moving along, we got ourselves a mission. Now, this mission is actually required to unlock, or it's partly, there's two parts to it, to unlock one of the Gwenpool missions. So we actually need Living Mummy, and off the top of my head, I can't think of it right now, so Morbius. It's Morbius, I believe. And in order to get Morbius, we have to beat this and have the Living Mummy. So this is kind of halfway there. This is another one of those accumulative things. Now, we always try to get things done as quickly and as easily as possible. And that's still the case here. But in the last couple of LEGO games, they've thrown us some loops. Like, remember Lego Ninjago Movie when free play was actually called free roam? But you were free roaming? But you were free roaming for the mini kit collect. It was insane. Like, I don't even know what was going on when they decided that. But that being said, they've kind of thrown us for a loop. And I almost feel like they're testing us here at HTG to see if we can pull it off. Like, how are they going to do this? If this overlaps with that, I wonder how they're going to make it happen. Well, most players don't necessarily go in a specific order. But when you're documenting things like we are, we try to make sure that we have the right path to the finish line. Last thing we want to do is get all the way to the finish line and then not be done, right? I mean, so far, we've never had that happen. We've never gotten to the end and been like a gold brick off or missing something. Like, I don't know if we've been really lucky or if I've just got the best guide writers in the world. Speaking of which, shout out to Tyler P. and Dougie Fresh. Dougie hasn't been active writing guides in the last couple of games. However, he has provided lots of great information for you and me both over the years. So shout out to both of those guys for doing a wonderful job and leading me to the finish line, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So victory is mine. Next up, we've got the third. So Lego, rule 3, we got these 3 bad guys we have to, or 3 groups of bad guys we have to eradicate. This one is a little bit more intense as there are more bad guys and they do have some health meters and, you know, they need to be depleted. So we'll do it. We have no problem depleter in them meters. So we walk up, look at these guys with the charge with the shield. So you kind of got to get behind them or catch them off guard and then make them see Tweety birds, you know, like, I guess it's stars in this game, but I always think of the old cartoons where they got the Tweety birds flying around. Anyhow, picking them up and giving them the old pow, or the old 1-2 punch, I guess is what it really is. And then finishing them off with the pow right in the kiss is always good as well. I definitely recommend trying to stay out of their pathways as they do a pretty good job doing the old car ramrod. So anyhow, we are almost done here. And whoops, sorry about that, Mummy. And then he goes on his little spiel here talking about his customer service for helping these guys. And then he rewards us with our character token. I was going to say a gold brick, but that's not the case. We actually get a character token for completing the missions, and we get gold bricks for completing the easy for me to say, brain fart for the puzzles. Holy cannoli. All right, that'll show me for trying to read the stuff on screen and talk to you and pull memory from my brain at the same time. All right, anyways, moving along. We'll go ahead and we'll bypass that mistake by me, and let's go ahead and freely. All right, this one's pretty simple. You're going to need somebody like Iron Man, somebody who can get up high, like fly, and somebody who has the silver brick breaker ability. Now, once you get to the top of the pyramid where Stan is supposed to be, just wait a hot second because for whatever reason, it takes a second for this animation to pop up and actually show the UFO and the couple of locals up there. They look like they're chanting him on. I don't know if they're like, hey, save him, or if they're like, just let go, bro. We'll see you later. You know, I really don't know. But once you pow that silver block down, it's going to drop a few bricks to build up into a gravity booster. Switch on over to Mr. Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord, to go ahead and make the gravity booster suck it in like a tractor beam. And all of a sudden, Lee is free. So, oh, to the yeah. We're going to go ahead and choose another flying character. Now, to be honest with you, when I did my preliminary run, it glitched out on me. It actually had 2 Stan Lees. And I swear, one was on each tip here. Giggity. But it turns out it wasn't. It was some sort of weird reloading stuff. I actually had to do one of the quests or missions twice, too. I really don't know why. It was really funky, and I hope that doesn't happen to you guys. I hope that was just a weird one-off. Maybe I didn't, like, collect the gold brick after... that's the only thing I can come up with it. I didn't grab the gold brick after I solved the puzzle or mission. Anyhow, moving along, we got puzzle number 2 over here. Basically, you walk into this front lower left building, and inside we've got one of these archaeologists who wants to play a trick on the other ones kind of waiting outside, who I guess have been mocking her or giving her a bad time. So she asks us to help her out. So we're going to start things off by destroying a pile of bricks and rebuilding them into a Doctor Strange pad. And then, of course, we're going to switch on over to Doctor Strange. Psych! We're actually going to go to Ms. Marvel and hop into this little circuit board over here and get our hack on. That's right. So spin to win, get it around, make sure you get those blues. Got to get them all. Oh, what? I didn't get them all. What a fail job for Brian. Look, I'm trying to get over there. Not enough time. Oh, well. All right, so that's part 2 of this puzzle. It's actually going to drop down some stuffs in the back here. We'll go ahead and butt slam those and rebuild them into... What is that? It's a hat? Oh, it's like one of those little corn dog hats with the propellers on top. You know, the little spinner hats? I'm sure you've seen those. Those are old school. I don't think those are even around anymore. But anyhow, let's see here. Drop me a comment down below if you remember those. I can't remember. Twizzle stick? No, what were they called? They had some funky name. Anyhow, hop on the old Doctor Strange pad and carve out the design. These are kind of a pain in the old butt, but at the same time, you actually, if you go slow and you make a mistake, you can actually go backwards. And as long as you don't complete a full line that you've already completed, you should be able to go backwards and fix that. So it's kind of cool. They give you a little bit of a grace period. He looks like a Rasta man, doesn't he? He looks like he's right by the beach. He's got some weird, kind of almost looks like a dreadlock hat and some big old googly eyes. I don't know. Anyways, now we're going to go ahead and throw a mustache on him by ripping down the grapple plug on the left and building those up. And she laughs and gives us a gold brick and then actually calls all of her friends in. And it's up to you whether you want to stay around and watch the whole scene or not. It actually forces you to watch like the first 10 seconds as they come in. Watch, here they come. Come and get it. So, all right. So they're like, what the heck is this? But it's a funny joke. That's what it is. So we'll go ahead and mash out of here. You guys are welcome to hang out in your version of the game and see what is said. But yeah, basically just laugh and move it along. So next up, we're going to go ahead and target a puzzle inside one of the pyramids. It happens to be the left pyramid. And, you know, these pyramids don't necessarily always have the door open to the public. This one happens to be open, though. So look at this. We got some hieroglyphics on the back wall. Turns out there are 4 of them all together, and there are 4 little sections that need a little help here. So the first one we're going to do is on the right-hand side, but it's the left one on the right. I know that's kind of confusing, but we'll use the grappler to go ahead and pull that grapple plug, and we got our first statue that we can go ahead and push down the old checkerboard path. Now, I do want to point out, too, you are able to go ahead and give them the old 1-2 punch and slide those down with your muscular strength. Now, I did that, and I pushed it a little, too. And basically, what I'm going to do here is we have to switch a couple of these. So one on the right side needs to be moved to the left, and one on the left needs to be moved to the right. And then on top of that, the one that you didn't switch from the left to the right has to be moved from the front to the back. Again, totally confusing. So we're just going to show you how to do this because I know a lot of you have been waiting for free roam, and although it shows you right where all the puzzles and collectibles are, it doesn't necessarily give away how they're solved. So we're going to help out with that right now. Now, next up, we're going to go ahead and use somebody with the silver brick breaking ability to destroy those silver balls. And look at that, we've got now we've got somebody with telekinesis in need here to go ahead and levitate these stars up on the wall. Each star has its little point that we need to put it right into, and I have trouble getting this one. It's a funny angle, and I get it up there, and look at that. We've got ourselves, I don't know, it's some sort of a funky shaped rectangle with teeth. It's a vampire rectangle. And we'll go ahead and knock this block into place. That's right. Get out of the way, Gwenpool. And this one is the one that needs, let's see, let's take a quick peek and see what needs to be. Okay, so that one, that one, I would consider that one being the front. And that one needs to be in the back, right? I mean, we came in, so that's the front side. I guess that's better than saying left and right when we've already used left and right, right? All right. That's a lot of rights. Anyways, we'll move on from that one too. Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a longer video and had to explain some of these more intricate puzzles, so bear with me. Next up, we're going to go ahead and dig up the final, that's right, the final monument that we need to get up here. And this one is pretty simple too. You just got to dig up both the left and right piles of sneaky bits and put them up on the wall as indicated. Now, next up, this guy comes up, and this would be the front as well. So is that true that both fronts need to go to the backs and that both backs need to go to the opposite side? Boy, that's getting even, I'm confusing myself, and I even know what I'm saying. So anyways, we'll go ahead and push this in. We're just going to match up this feather-like image or hieroglyphic into that. And look at that. I kicked it right into place. That's right. Go ahead and light it up, boys. Light it up. All right. So we got to go ahead and continue to do this. We'll push this guy. Let's see. One of these needs to switch out of the way to go to the other side. So we'll go ahead and push this guy into the same side where that little, I guess it was some sort of, I don't know. I don't know what it really was. It looked like a feather. Didn't it look like a feather? But we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And now this guy is going to go ahead. That's right. Kick that into place. So look at me being all smart and efficient. I'm going to kick you down here like this. And then I'm going to go run down and kick you into place like that. And I'm going to run over here. Look at that. I've got this figured out pretty good. And last but not least, well, I guess we'll wait for the light to come on. All right. And then last but not least, we just got to push this guy into place here. And we should light up that fourth one and get ourselves that gold brick. Now, hey, keep in mind, too, I don't know how much I've mentioned this. You might have already solved this and may be needing the next puzzle or maybe the next mission. If that is the case, feel free to use the quick links down below in the video description. I've got them appropriately labeled with what puzzle, mission, or what object that you get for completing those. So, should be like gold brick 1 or character token and who it is. And if that's what you're after, feel free to use those and skip over all this nonsense that you've already done or maybe don't need info on. Ooh, this next one's kind of fun, and I do have a quick tip for you on this one. So basically, we're going to go to a mission, and this one has us, it's kind of like a WWE. For my days, it was WWF. I don't think WWF even exists anymore. I think it morphed into the WWE. But anyways, that all being said, we got like a little cage match over here where we are pitted against the Aracnido Jr., which is like a different version of Spider-Man. And so it turns out here we walk in and but okay, let me backpedal a little bit. So I did this mission when I was kind of making sure I knew what I was talking about, because sometimes, like when I first started free roam, to see how the flow is and how it's set up, I usually test a level or two, and I happened to do that with this one. And so I've already completed this, and I tell you what, I had a heck of a time taking out the bad guys in here with a regular character. But then I switched on over to Drax, and Drax makes mincemeat out of these guys, especially when you use his circle, or I guess it would be what, B? Special move, depending on which platform you're using. Anyhow, this guy tells us, all right, in the red corner, we've got, you know, Aracnido Jr. And we're like, all right, that's no big deal, no big deal. We can handle that, we can handle that. And then he's like, in this corner, we've got, he gives us some funny name. That's right, Russell or the Wrestler. Rustler the Wrestler. What a clever name. Sounds like some weird wordplay I would come up with. And then he throws us the stinger here, quite literally, with the yellow corner. So there's a third group of people, and it turns out we don't fight Aracnido at all. We actually fight with him. So because I already had Drax out, I am going to go ahead and take these guys out in 1 or 2 hits each. Now, I was finding that, I think I had Black Panther out last time when I had somebody out that, you know, you would think would be pretty awesome and strong, but there was definitely a difference in how fast I took out the health meter. That's right, the difference was in the depleter of the meter. And look at me, I got a little button happy here. I wanted to tell you, use Drax, but yeah, like I said, I got a little button happy. And, you know, I definitely recommend pressing and holding the button down for the special, too, because watch that, I'm going to do that here in a second. And, oh, no, I did a special move here with Black Panther, which took out quite a few guys, too, which was nice. But, look, I'm going to go ahead and switch my other player to Drax as well. So, in theory, both of my fighters are basically as strong as get. Now, Hulk may be awesome, too. Hulk may take him out in 1. I didn't try Hulk. And there's a couple of rounds of this you got to do, so, you know, feel free to try some different characters and maybe even leave some comments down below so that other people watching this might get a little tip or trick from you because, like I said, I mean, Drax was better than Black Panther, but maybe Hulk is better than Drax. I don't know. And maybe there's like some super, maybe Squirrel Girl is the best because they're afraid, I don't know, maybe she terrifies scorpions. You never know. There may be some special trick that I'm missing that you could help others out with, so. As we near the end of this, we got 12 scorpions left. That was nice that they actually gave us a number counter to tell us what was going on here, because at times it kind of felt like, was this going to go on forever? It did kind of seem like that, and then I look over and I'm like, oh, no, okay, wait, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, ding, ding. Round 3, fight. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I must have been flapping my yapper through round 2, and I missed that. But, we've got Aracnido Jr. unlocked. Now, we still have to purchase him, but that won't be too much of a problem as we have 13.7 billion studs. And we've got lots of ground to cover still, lots of studs to unravel, and, oh, this is my least favorite. All right, so here comes an HTG rant. Now, in LEGO Star Wars The Force Unleashed, there was these BB-8 games that were terrible. They were just absolutely the worst as far as trying to play them as a player. This kind of fell into that category as well. Now, hopefully you did not struggle with this nearly as much as I did. All I could think of, too, was, remember the LEGO Jurassic World soccer game where you had to get the trophy or achievement, depending on which platform you're playing on, with a raptor? You had to score with a certain raptor? Well, that was kind of a pain, but much easier than this one. I don't know why I struggled so hard with this, and I got really lucky. To be honest with you, I spent like 25, 30 minutes playing this when I did my preliminary run, trying to see what was going on. Only completed it because of the fact that I thought that maybe if we finished this, that it would unlock that other race. That was before I'd figured out we had to complete a mission in Manhattan. Now, I've actually edited this out, and I've got like total highlight reel for you because it took me 3 or 4 minutes. It was much quicker my second time around. I kind of figured out a little bit of a groove to get these guys, but I really struggled. I mean, it took me a half an hour or so to adjust to those controls and actually get, it took me probably 35 minutes to score all 6 goals because I finished the first time, and look at me, I'm like, woohoo! And hey, if you haven't ridden a camel yet because of some weird glitch or mishap in the story mode, look at that. There's a camel right there, and you could go ahead and check that off of your animal lover challenge list because there is a camel on that list. Now, next up, we've got a puzzle inside the Sphinx. Now, this actually is one of those situations that requires you to find a way in to the building. And now, I also found that you can kind of cheat the old tracker abilities here. Like, you know, I'm kind of going right to the end. Look at that. So that's kind of fun. It saves you a little bit of time because some of those can be rather lengthy. And once you follow it all the way to the end, it digs up a little switch. Go ahead and hop on that switch that opens the door. And hey, here's that puzzle with those hieroglyphics that I was speaking about earlier that were displayed in the Mummy movie. Now, check this out, though. There is a certain path that you have to do through here. 1, 2, and 3. It goes left, middle, right, and you have to follow the path, those icons. So the actual solution is right in front of you. You just have to follow the right path, and I'm going to show it to you right now. And it's kind of hard to explain the different shapes. I'm going to finish up with the double line hashtag there, and the next step we're going to go for the half moon. And then we got like the feather looking icon. And then what's next? We got the Sphinx, the little cat. And then we got the bird. And we finish off with the, I don't know what that is, the key maybe? We go back to a feather, to the owl, to the half moon, over to the feather again. And we finish with a caw. That's right. I don't know. It looks more like an owl. But, you know, I had an opportunity to caw. So figured I might as well do it. But look at that. We got all the way through here. Now, if you make a mistake, all it does is resets the sequence that you're on. So like I said, there's 3 sequences. If you complete the first one and you make a mistake on the second one, it'll still keep that first sequence for you. So that's kind of nice. But if you don't complete it, then you have to do it all over again. So that's not so nice. But anyhow, hopefully that helped you get through that. We have got ourselves a puzzle right around the corner here that's going to give us another gold brick. And we don't mind ourselves some gold. So let's see here. We'll make our way. I was going to fly over there, but I thought about hoofing it, and it's just going to take too long. So this is kind of fun. This is a weird, random little puzzle. Luckily for us, we've got a strong character that could go ahead and do a mega butt slam. In fact, I guess that wasn't the case. He actually just it looked like he belched or something. He looks down and he yelled. You know, he's got that really loud and proud voice. But once we get through that cracked wall, we're going to go ahead and need a character with a tracking ability. Look at me. I told you I knew how to cheat the system. Well, the system does have some boundaries, and I apparently exceeded those. So in this particular case, I wasn't able to cheat too much, but it's really because I forgot there was multiple steps to this. I went to the final solution over there where I needed to go to step 1 first. So we'll go ahead and do that by following the old tracker spots there. That's right, the old white brick pathway here takes us back around over to the left side, back to the right, and back to the left one more time. And look at that, we'll dig up a strong handle. And we'll go ahead and apply that to the wall here. And again, we need a strong character. So luckily for us, Drax was out. Look, he's so muscular, he only needs 1 arm. And we'll go ahead and rip that down. And look at that. What is this? It looks like a weird, I don't know. I hope I don't run into one of those anywhere, anytime, night or day. Oh, and what is, whoa, what were you doing, Black Panther? That was suspect on the highest level of suspectivity. Anyways, moving along. We don't need to focus on that. We'll go ahead and check it out. We've got a mission in the back corner, and this one's kind of fun. It's like the old, you know, you've seen in movies and in cartoons, there's the old card game where you got 1 joker and like 2 kings, and you flip them around on the table and you try to shove. Well, it's kind of like that, where he's going to give us a little art piece here of sandcastles, and we're going to have to determine which new one he added to the mix when he whirls it all up. So it's pretty simple. However, I do make a mistake. And I thought about editing it out, but I thought, let's go ahead and get a good chuckle at me. And look at that. I'm going to go ahead and I think I messed that up, didn't I? I was supposed to push yes, and I pushed no. So I got a little ahead of myself again there, too. So we'll whip through that. And, all right, speaking of whip through, he disappears in his little sand tornado. And he's going to pop up over on the left as Rhino kind of explains what's going down here. And like I already said, basically, he's going to whirlwind it up. And look at that. We've got 3 sandcastles. Now he whirlwinds it up again. And which sandcastle wasn't there before? So you just got to go over and smack it, knock it down. You got to be one of those bully kids on the beach and take down that little kid's sandcastle. That's right. I've always feared these types of people, and now I must be one. So luckily for us, it's part of the game, though. He's asking us and expecting us to do it. It's not like hard work has gone into this, and it's going to make the little Sandman cry. No, it doesn't work out that way. But it is the rule of 3, and we need to complete this 3 times. Or if you're me, you need to do it 4 times because you make a mistake. So I do believe this is the one that I fail on, but it could be the 3rd one. We'll have to wait and see. So this one pops up, and let's see, we've got 2 square ones in the middle. Okay, so it clearly popped up one on the far right, but I think I smashed the front one, and it's the back one. Oh, no. Oh, I was right. Okay, so round 2, win. So I got 2 for 2. Let's see if I can finish strong. I'm pretty sure I failed this one. Maybe I failed it in the preliminary run that you guys didn't get to see. I don't know. Let's see here. 3rd time's the charm, perhaps. All right, so we've got 3 of those squares and 2 of the big ones, and then oh, see, it moved the camera on me too. That's what. Okay, so which one was it, front or back? Oh, fail! Look at that. I think he laughs and says, "This is why you don't kick over little kids' sandcastles. That's just mean." I would agree totally. Totes my goats, unless it's Reese's Castle. If it's Reese's Castle, I may have, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not one of those dads. All right, so here we go. It's the front one. It's clearly the front one in the middle. Go ahead and pow it right in the Kessa, and let's collect our Sandman character token, which also, when you complete this, it actually unlocks that other race. So there are 2 races in this area. They are both locked when you initially open it up, but once you complete this mission, it opens up that other race. So I probably should have stated that in the beginning, because I talked a lot about the race that doesn't unlock until you complete the Manhattan mission, but I should have mentioned this one sooner too. So, hey, speaking of should have mentioned sooner, you guys already know this, but guess what? I gotta give a quick shout out to Warner Brothers, because they have always taken good care of us with all these Lego products and Lego games, and they, in fact, did hook us up with a copy of this game, and they're about to hook us up with a little fun mailer pack for the Black Panther DLC and movie that comes out later this week. So be on the lookout on our channel. Make sure you click that subscribe button and that notifications bell fail so we can ring it once we bring that. Well, I just missed it. I missed an opportunity. We'll ring it once we bring it, right? Because I don't know. Maybe that was fail. Anyhow, we have officially opened up this race. And speaking of fail, I did make a boo-boo. This one actually requires a motorcycle. So we have some choices here. If you followed along with us throughout the challenges, you should have Gwen Pools. You should have Ghost. I missed it. And then we also have the Black Widow's bike. I think Black Widow? Is that right? I'm so far behind. I went too fast is what happened. We chose Gwen Pool because it's actually pretty quick. It's pretty nimble. And it's got a gun on the front, right? So you can blow up stuff. Because there are cars and things that get in your pathway. And it's a lot easier to just blow them up and drive right through the carnage than it is to actually car ramrod and get stuck on something. So, like right there, look at that. I got lucky and pulled the old wheelie job right over the top. But in this particular case, you know, the gun is probably best suited. So I tried the other ones. I tried, Ghost Rider. His bike was terrible. It was like really slow and it was really hard to turn. And there are a couple of quick turns like right up here is a really rough one. And right under this whole side of the, what is it? It's not Octon Tower. It's Oscorp Tower. And we go right through here. And that jump right there is kind of funky too. You come off sideways and you land. It spits you out all wonky. But for me, I got pretty lucky. And it's not like there's a lot of extra time going through here. And there may be some sort of cheat code or maybe a motorcycle that's better. But I found that Gwen Pool's bike was probably the best suited for this race, and I highly recommend it as I only had to do it twice. That's right. I messed up right at the end. I actually hit that last jump ramp right before the finish line, and I fell off in between, and I couldn't get up, so I was stuck. So it was like that whole commercial. I've fallen and I can't get up. It was pretty much like that, but I had no button to press for anybody to save me. Well, I guess that's not true. I got to respawn. So here I am. I'm scrolling around, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm all done, but I'm going to teleport here anyways to end the video. And then once I get here, I take one more peek and I realize, wait a minute, I've got a puzzle over there. So off we go for that final gold brick. So it turns out it's going to be in one of the pyramids. And once we target it with our GPS waypoint marker, we can fly right over to that blue halo. And this one, let's see here, is the door going to be open on this bad boy for us? Nope. It is not. So how are we going to open the door? Well, this one is Pharaoh's tomb, and we're going to actually pull out old Iron Fist and use his chi ability to pump it up. That's right. We're going to charge up this dragon's mouth, which opens the door for us and allows us entry inside. So we'll go ahead and keep on keeping on inside, and this is actually a pretty fun puzzle. There is a couple of different ways you can solve this. What we need to do is reflect the two sides. There's two sides that have a little bit of a, it's a little, a push switch here. We got to angle these reflective light beams across diagonally. Now, there's a couple, like I said, there's a couple of ways you can do this. So you can actually shoot this, I'll show you right here, directly in front of you, pew, and that shoots up the left side. Or with a little bit more of a straightforward angle, you can go diagonally here, bing. That's right. So it's kind of like a zigzag, right? It's like the old serpentine. And we'll go ahead and make our way over to the left side now and do the same thing. We're going to push it right over to that middle right side reflector. And then we'll aim it at the other side. So again, a little diagonal action here. And zigga to the zega. We got it. Now, last but not least, we got to use the chi or heat ray ability to go ahead and carve out this square in the middle and then melt the two, I guess, I don't know what they are, but there's some sort of like small little containers here, golden containers. And once we get all of that presented, we actually have some bricks we can build, some bricks we can build. And it turns out it's one of those roller machines, and we'll turn into, that's right, I am Groot. And walk over, hit the icon indicated for us. It's Suicle, and now you just got to spin to win and get those gears on the wall to spin. That's right. You know what really grinds my gears? And in this case, it turns out it gives us another reflector point. And now we just got to go over, and collect our gold, because that one in the middle actually reflected to that final spot that we needed. And now all three of those. Now watch out, Groot. That might not be good. You know, as a kid, we've all had a magnifying glass and a little ant session, right? Well, Groot walking through those magnified rays are probably not good. Now, last but not least, we're going to kind of head over to the side over here. If you've already completed Manhattan Free Roam, which you may have, this race may be open to you, but it is not available to us yet, so we will come back later. Now, look, there is one of those challenges for the People's Hero, where we got to save them. So we could wander over there and knock one more off our list. But guess what? That's not how we're going to do this video. We're going to go ahead and roll out and call it good. So that's going to wrap it up for LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 Egypt Free Roam, where we got all of the collectibles that were available to us. So I know that's kind of silly. Normally we get them all. This case we weren't able to. We're going to come back though once we complete Manhattan. And if you guys want a full list of the order, how we're going to do this, tough luck. No, I'm just kidding. We'll hook one up at some point somewhere, maybe in the video description. But that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time.